There is a variable in muscle building that almost nobody is tracking. Not protein, not sets, not reps. Something so overlooked that most gym-goers have never even heard the term, yet the science on it is so strong, researchers are calling it the single biggest missing factor in most training programs. And once you understand it, you will never train the same way again. But before I reveal what it is, you need to understand why most people are building muscle at half the speed they should be. Most people in the gym are doing everything right on paper, hitting their protein, training 4 to 5 days a week, progressively adding weight, and still their muscle growth has slowed to almost nothing after the first year. This is called the intermediate plateau. And it doesn't happen because of effort. It happens because of one specific biological mechanism that kicks in once your body adapts to standard training, and the only way through it is to manipulate a variable that most programs completely ignore. So what is this biological mechanism, and what is the variable that overrides it and forces your muscles to grow again? The variable is mechanical tension across the full range of motion. Here is what that means in plain terms. Your muscle fibers grow when they are placed under load, specifically at their longest, most stretched position. This is called the lengthened stimulus. And research published in the last 3 years has consistently shown that exercises performed in the lengthened position produce significantly more muscle growth than the same exercises performed in the shortened position. Translation: where the weight is hardest in a movement, at the bottom of a squat, the stretch of a Romanian deadlift, the bottom of a dumbbell fly, that is where your muscle growth actually happens. Most people rush through that part. They are literally skipping the most productive moment of every rep. So which specific exercises take maximum advantage of this, and how do you restructure your training around them starting today? Here are the 4 movements you need to prioritize, chosen specifically because they load the muscle hardest at full stretch. Movement 1. Incline dumbbell curl. Loads the bicep at full stretch at the bottom. Far superior to standard curls for size. 3 sets of 10 to 12, slow on the way down. Movement 2. Romanian deadlift. Maximum hamstring and glute stretch under load. 3 sets of 8 to 10. Pause 1 second at the bottom. Movement 3, deficit push-up. Chest goes deeper than standard push-up, loading pec fibers at full stretch. 3 sets of 10 to 12. Movement 4, overhead dumbbell extension. Tricep is fully lengthened overhead, the most growth-producing tricep exercise that exists. 3 sets of 10 to 12. Apply a 3-second eccentric, meaning slow on the way down, on every single rep of every movement. That is where the lengthened tension does its work. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. There is one recovery mistake that completely cancels out this entire training approach, and most people make it every week. Training in the lengthened position creates more muscle damage than standard training. That's actually the point. More damage, more repair, more growth. But it also means your recovery demand goes up. If you are still training the same muscle group every 48 hours like a standard program, you're interrupting the repair cycle before it completes. You're building on an unfinished foundation. The fix is simple. Allow 72 hours minimum between sessions targeting the same muscle group when using lengthened loading. Sleep 7 to 9 hours. Keep protein at 0.8 grams per pound of body weight minimum. Do that, and this method works faster than anything else in evidence-based training right now. So how long before you actually see a visible difference, and what should you realistically expect in the first 30 days? Most people using this approach report noticeable muscle fullness within 2 to 3 weeks, not because it's a shortcut, but because it's finally training the right mechanism, the one your muscles actually respond to most. By 30 days, if your nutrition and recovery are dialed in, the difference in muscle density and size will be visible. Not dramatic, but real and ahead of where standard training would have you. This is not a trend. This is current peer-reviewed science applied to real training. If this changed how you think about your workouts, drop a comment with the word tension and I'll send you the full movement guide. Subscribe for next week, we're going deeper into the science of fast muscle building.